Positive energy all the time. You know how we do. Greetings, one and all. Here we go. Here we go. Run the likes up. Hit that hype button if it's there. Sometimes the hype button is there, sometimes it's not. I don't know. I think it's an experiment. But if it's there, hit that hype button, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and support the channel. Super Chat, CashApp, Venmo, and PayPal. Well, here we go. Here I go. Tonight, what's going on? Rep your city, rep your city. Got North Miami Beach here in Indianapolis. We got Chicago. Yeah, rep your city, rep your city. And let me know who's the best, the Democrats or the Republicans. John says the Republicans. We got ATL in the building. John says the Republicans. Okay. Tell us why, John. Why you say the Republicans? What do they do that's better? I'm talking about this because they're all over my YouTube timeline when I go to subscription. And it's just all over my timeline. Political stuff. It's all down my YouTube timeline. It's all down my Instagram timeline. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm seeing neither. I'm saying neither. Neither is so far the winner is neither. Oh. Whoa. Conservative values and was the party of Reconstruction was. We're not doing was. We're not doing was. Was is an interesting word. Was. He said they was. I'm talking about now, not what they was. Conservative values. What is conservative values? Somebody tell me, what is conservative values? It's a conservative value when you're really, gay and want to live your life, but you're hiding it. And you're anti-gay in public, but you're gay in the bedroom. I don't know. Is that conservative value? Because, I see a lot of conservatives, they hate the LGBTQ, but they LGBT and Q. And I'm like, okay. So what is conservative values? It's like when you pretend. I'm a little confused. Because I see a whole bunch of conservative value people in the Epstein files. I'm just saying, I don't know if it's true, but I see a whole bunch of conservative people that's supposed to have conservative values in the Epstein files. I think Jeffrey Epstein was a conservative. Wasn't he a conservative? I don't know. I had a young lady the other day. She was going, so what are you, a conservative or liberal? I said, young lady, as far as you're concerned, you kind of find it. You can call me a splitter opener. That's all I'm into, baby. Yeah, I just want to hit it and split it. I don't know. What do you call that? What do you call it if I knock you back? What is that? She said, you too old to be that nasty. I said, I'm too old for you to hate. I'm too old for you to hate, baby girl. And where is your man? When you get to talk, she, she said I'm too old. She said I'm too old to be talking about knocking her back out. I said, hey, listen, tell dude, I keep telling him he don't want to, tell dude because he don't listen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he don't listen. He always be getting me in trouble. They said two heads is better than one. Well, I've never had a wife that agreed with that. Like that. But that's another story. That's another story. Them two heads don't agree all the time. This head be like, listen, dude, I'm married. And, he don't be wanting to listen. He be like, F that B. And you better get with this. I'm like, I can't listen to you. You ain't going to pay the alimony. You're not going to pay no child support, no alimony, or nothing. I can't listen to you. Your ass broke, actually. Shut up talking to me. But y'all say, who's the best? Because I don't know. I'm getting confused. Am I the only one? Like Trump is a moron and I kind of like him a little bit, but I don't trust him. He might do black people dirty, but I kind of like him a little bit. Am I the only one? And the Democrats, I don't know who's a Democrat. They kind of got lost in the sauce. Ain't the Democrats lost in the sauce? Who is the Democrats? Nobody. Who's the most popular Democrat right now? I have conservative views like the KKK. He says, you have conservative views. You're a businessman. Plus, foundational black Americans are very conservative. Lineage is not conservative, first off. And so lineage is not Republican or Democrat. So you don't know what FBA is. So don't use FBA. There's a lot of LGBTQ FBA. That's not conservative. So you don't know what you're talking about? You don't know what FBA is. What is FBA to you? It's just a lineage. A lineage is not a belief system. Lineage is not a belief system. A lot of people that's FBA don't vote at all. Like everybody doesn't even vote. So that's a false statement. It's false. He says foundational black Americans are conservative. That's false. As a matter of fact, earlier today I was around some foundational Black Americans. They was BDs. You know what I'm saying? They was BDs. On David, on King David. They conservative Black Americans. I was trying to tell them, y'all, they are foundational Black Americans. I try to tell them, y'all FBA. Like, what is that? Oh, G, right? But they foundational Black Americans, but they're gangbangers. Are gangbangers conservative? I'm confused. What the hell? I was just around some FBAs. I kept trying to give them 3 letters, man. FBA, bro. FBA. FBA, bro. And they wouldn't accept the 3 letters. They kept trying to figure out what it was. They were stuck on 2 letters. They kept saying on BD. On BD. I kept saying FBA. And they kept saying on BD. On BD. On BD. Granddad, who is this? Who is this? I knocked your grandmother back? Who's your grandmother? I knocked your grandma back. Who's your grandma? He said, I knocked his grandma back. I'm his granddaddy. Who's your grandma? I didn't even know. Who is you? Who is you? Who is you? I don't know your grandma, bro. Yeah, I don't know. Who's your grandma? He says I knocked his grandma back and had his mama or his daddy. His mama and his daddy is my son or daughter. I don't know. Who's your mama? Who's your daddy? Which one of my kids? Who's your mama? Who's your grandmama? Grandchild. Who is your grandmother? I knocked her back. He said I knocked his grandmama loose. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I mean? That's what he said. Oh, okay. Oh, you said, oh, okay. I got you. I didn't know what you were talking about. Because, my children be over here with aliases. Especially my daughter. She be over here FBI-ing me. And she be on aliases. And, it might be one of her children. I got grandbabies. I got a lot of grandbabies. So I thought you might really be one. For real. Because, my family be spying on me. Sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me, and it's a travesty. Yeah, my family be watching me. On some old, what's up, Dad? I'm like, I'm cool. I just got off live. Yeah, I was watching you. Well, you know what's up. Oh, okay. You already know what's up. Talking about, Daddy, stop. Well, don't you start. I'm like, what the hell you mean what's up? And you just got seen me on live. You know I was on live acting a fool. You already know. You already know your daddy was on live acting a fool. You already know what it was. What do you mean what it was? So y'all don't know. Some people, y'all don't know if it's the Democrats, Republicans. I'm confused. Now tell me something. Am I wrong? Because Trump seems to be like low-key racist, and I like him a little bit. What's up with that? Am I the only one that feel like Trump is low-key racist, but I like him a little bit? Every other day, I like Trump, then I don't like him. Then I like him, then I don't like him. Then I like him and I don't like him. Every other day. Every other day, I like Trump, and then I don't like Trump, then I like Trump, then I don't like Trump. Every other day. Am I the only one? Every other day. I said, what's up with dude? What's up with Trump? He was strangest politician I ever seen in my life. One minute I like him, I said, man, why do I like this undercover racist? I don't believe he's a racist. I don't believe Trump. I believe he be trolling racist. I really do. Am I the only one believe Trump be saying racist stuff just to get the racist vote? Am I the only one? He ain't no real racist, is he? Trump don't seem like he be doing fake racism. I swear to God, he look like he be doing fake racism. What you think, Mrs. Moore? It don't be looking fake, his racism? It be looking fake. Or do it be looking real? Who think it look real? If you think Trump is a racist for real, put real in there. I think he be trolling. I think he be trolling. I think that it's a lot of racists in the Republican Party, and he trying to make sure he can keep getting a vote. That's what I mean. I think he fake a fake racist, man. He said he the least racist. So he racist, but he the least. You know, to be talking crazy. It's like he not this racist. He talking crazy. Hey, Mrs. Moore, Mrs. Moore. He said he the least racist. He racist, right? You can't make this up. 2025, 2026 is crazy as hell, man. That mug say he the least racist. I said, dude, if you don't shut your ass up, bro, you was the least racist. I'm telling you, man. That's why I be watching, dude. He's hilarious. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It is the most entertaining president we ever had in the history. That hey, man. Oh man. Man, Trump is something else, man. Man, Trump is something else, man. Trump is hilarious. I ain't gonna lie. If you're sick like me, if you got, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be something wrong with you like me. Man, man, that mug right there, man. That mug say he the least racist. That's what he said. Man, that man there, man, that man right there, boy. Where they get him from? That man, boy, I be cracking up. I don't know what to do with him. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. And I don't, what's up with the Democrats though? What's up with the Democrats? That's the question of the day. They like they lost in the sauce. They don't look like they can get no footing or nothing. The Democrats don't look like they can get no footing. Is that just me? They don't look like they can get no footing, like they don't know what to do. I'm kind of like they need to be picking somebody right now. They need to start their campaign for president now. Because other than that, I know they're trying to wait for the midterms. I understand that, but they don't have no steam. Am I wrong? They don't have no steam. It's like Trump is trolling them right out the news. And it's like they ain't got no momentum or nothing. Or is it just me? It's like they don't have no momentum. They don't have nothing. Or is it just me? $50 ain't gonna run. He said Trump is a puppet. Right, who they got dislikable. Right. You say they cooked. It looked like it, don't it? Trump ain't like Mussolini or Hitler. Trump ain't like no damn Mussolini or no Hitler. Maybe the White House secrets got him confused. I don't know. They gonna run Newsom. Newsom. mm. J.D. Vance ain't gonna win the primaries if he in the primaries for the Republicans. He ain't gonna win it. He don't got enough charisma. Newsom. You don't know what foundational Black Americans is, bro. Stop using that. You don't know what foundational Black Americans is. What do you think? John think foundational Black Americans is a group. You know that? He think that's a group. John think foundational Black Americans group. He probably think Tariq Nasheed is the leader. He think foundational Black Americans is a group. He said foundational Black Americans should become Republicans and fight for reparations. No, it's not foundational Black Americans. They're technically, if you know about lineage, there can't be no foundational Black American politics because foundational Black American politics don't make no sense when it comes to lineage. So lineage is just lineage. It's just to trace back that you've been here since the country was founded. Lineage has no political ideology. And so if you were representing foundational Black Americans and you start pushing a political agenda, you would turn foundational Black Americans off because it wouldn't make any sense because it's just lineage. Like whoever your great grandparents was had nothing to do with politics. You don't see nobody saying Italians should vote a certain kind of way. You don't see nobody saying Irish should vote a certain kind of way. You don't see anybody saying Chinese should vote a certain way. And foundational Black Americans is like Chinese, Irish, Italians. So you can't say Italians need to vote a certain type of way. So you don't know what foundational Black Americans is. Stop using it because people like you are misrepresenting. You're not helping. You're uneducated on the subject. Stop using foundational Black Americans. You don't know what you're talking about. It's lineage, bro. It's not a group. It's not a group. Foundational Black Americans are individuals, bro. That make their own individual mind. Is not a group. How many times I got to tell you that? Foundational Black Americans is not a group. We have no leader. We have no religious belief. We have no political belief. It's lineage. It's based on who we are. That's it. It's not based on what we believe. I'm trying to help you learn, bro. Learn. When you get somewhere, it's time to learn. Step your game up. Bro, I got respect for you, but I'm trying to teach you something. Once you leave off here, don't be saying that no more. Foundational Black American is a lineage. All it represents is who we trace back to. It does not represent no politics, sexual none of that. It's not a group. How many times I got to keep telling them that? They don't know no better. They're not ops. They don't know. They don't know. They really don't know. Like people really don't know. They're not intentionally trying to frame it as a group. They really don't know because it's fairly new and they think it's a group. They don't know. It's going to take us, 2026? It's going to take us about 2028, 2029 for people to know what it is because it's fairly new. Foundational Black American as a lineage is new as far as the growth. All the growth now is new growth. So you had ADOS, Then you had the concept, we don't want to be American descendants of slaves. We don't like that title. Then it was Foundational Black Americans. And then since that point, we've been working on building a foundation, but we don't have the house built. We only just laying the foundation right now. So we have not yet uh, taught everybody what it is yet. You understand the process of teaching everybody what it is? That's what we're going to be doing all this year and next year because people really don't know what it is. You understand? Blacks were slaves in the past too. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Because in Chicago, blacks always been Democrats. I don't know what you're talking about. Because my whole life, blacks been Democrats. I don't know what you're talking about. Because when I was a baby, they was happy over the Kennedys. So I don't know what you're talking. I don't think you know what you're talking about. How old are you, John? How old are you? Because I don't believe you my age. I believe you're younger. Because you're just talking. Since the Great Migration, blacks have all been Democrats. Since the Great Migration of blacks coming to the North. Okay, so you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. You wasn't born. I'm 60. I'm 20 years older than you. Listen, John, listen and learn. Since the Great Migration, when black Americans left the South and came north, they've been Democrats because the Republicans was straight racist, straight up. Okay? He all right. John cool, he just young. My job ain't to hate on John. I'm going to give him the information so he be locked. So John, when they be saying blacks used to be Republicans, that's not this Republican Party. That is a different Republican Party too. The party's changed. Okay? So when they say that, John, that's misguided. That's going to misguide the youth because they saying some real old stuff that really wouldn't be relevant in this time, John. Because what would be relevant in this time is from the baby boomers. When did black people had the most babies? Well, black people had the most babies in the 50s. And in the 50s, blacks was Democrats. So when they go way back, John, and be talking about the old Republican Party, that's misleading so the youth will grow up and not know and be misled. So it's like this, John. This is politics, right, John? So let's say blacks was Democrats to here, but we here. Is it fair to say blacks was Democrats when it was only this? I mean Republicans, when all of this was Democrats? So if you look, blacks was only Republicans this much. Blacks been Democrats this much. So is it fair to say blacks used to be Republicans? No, that's not fair because blacks been Democrats all this time. So that's misleading, bro. And that was a different Republican Party. So when you say that, John, you're misleading people because that Republican Party ain't this Republican Party. Not at all. Listen, we didn't adjust nothing. The Republicans became the Confederate, okay? And when the Republicans became the Confederate, of course, right, blacks went with the North. The Republicans represented slavery and the racist South in the 50s. The Republican Party was the one that was attacking black people, okay? The Republican Party for the young people watching me, represented this. The Republican Party represents you couldn't ride on the front of the bus and arrest Rosa Parks. Okay? For the people that's watching me that really want to know the history. Okay? Okay? And black people, whatever black people was during the Martin Luther King era, that's where we are. Period. Whatever we was under MLK, that's where we are. So for him, you see what I'm saying, John? I got love for you, John. I'm gonna show you. So see, this through the Republicans was doing MLK like this. So now when it split and blacks started pushing for civil rights, John, it became Democrat. So they were supporting the Kennedys, right? Even though Lyndon B. Johnson did sign the Civil Rights Bill. He did do that, but he did that because he was forced to do it because there was too many Jewish people that was supporting the Civil Rights Bill, right? Right? You see, Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Bill. He was a Democrat. Lyndon B. Johnson was a Democrat. And this bill he signed right here gave you the right to go to a movie theater, gave you a right to use any restroom you want to use, gave you the right to get on the bus, to get on the train, to get on the plane, to do whatever you want to do. This was a Democratic president that gave black people the right to be free, truly free, and go wherever you want to go. This day right here, you see MLK behind him? This is a Democratic president. So if the Democratic president signed a civil rights bill that allowed you to ride on the bus, ride on the train, use a restroom, then you know black people was what? Democrats. 100% Democrats, not a little bit. 100% Democrats. You understand? So that's why I'm here for people like John to help him. I'm not here to diss the brother. He don't know this stuff. So I ain't gonna talk crazy to him because he don't know. How he supposed to know? They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't really teach when the Democrat and Republican Party flipped. Because the Democratic Party did used to be racist. That's a fact. But that's old history. Where the Republicans flipped racist. And the Democrats started to flip for everybody. Basically. You know what I'm saying? So that's what black people been, you know, my grandmother, great grandmother, grandfather, great great grandfather, born in the 1800s, All of them was Republican. Right. Strom Thurmond, prominent 1948 Dixiecrat, switched to the Republican Party in 1964, signaling a broader, decade long realignment of Southern white conservatives from the Democratic Party to the GOP. Exactly. They switched over there. hmm You see what I'm saying, John? So that's how blacks became Democrats. Then the Democratic Party became infiltrated over the last like a couple presidents before Obama started getting infiltrated and started making civil rights about being gay and all that, which is civil rights. Civil rights is the right to be a civilian and go anywhere you want. So they start to push the gay rights and all of that. When they start pushing that, what we wanted started to get clouded out, right? But they had to push that because that's civil rights. So it's like the same way you can't tell a black person or a Hispanic person they can't ride on the bus, you can't tell a dude because he look gay, he can't ride on the bus. So that's how LGBTQ was blended in with civil rights. Because civil rights ain't black rights, it's civil rights, it's the right of civilians. So a lot of uh, black Americans is mad because they said that how did the gays come and get all this attention and all these other groups, but that's because that's under civil rights, right? And so black people, you're still under civil rights, but you're not under civil rights as much as everybody else because you got more civil rights than everybody else, basically. So you got civil rights. You can go anywhere you want to go. You can get jobs. So you kind of like civil rights for FBA became less important because of all the great breakthroughs. You playing in the NFL, you coaches for major athletic group, you own sports teams. So civil rights had to switch to the less unfortunate that's coming to the country. So it really wasn't taken from us, LGBTQ and Hispanics or whoever or any immigrants. They really not taking civil rights for us because civil rights ain't black. Civil rights is civil. It's just we was at the forefront of it. So then the beef we have with Hispanics and Asians and gays is we was at the forefront for civil rights, for you to have civil rights, and you need to respect foundational black Americans because we paid the price for civil rights. You didn't pay the price. Gays didn't pay the price. Asians didn't pay the price. That's where the beef is at. They didn't pay the price. We paid the price so it wouldn't be an all-white America. We was the ones that got out there and pushed for equality. You understand? Foundational black Americans was the one got out there and pushed for the equality. So we want all these other people, these Africans and these Caribbeans, when you come over here, respect us. We the reason you could walk around here. Brothers went to jail for you to come and walk around here. Brothers and sisters lost their lives. They firebombed the church in Alabama. My mother went to school with them girls. Okay? one brother that they don't talk about, what about Medgar Evers? They unalived Medgar Evers over civil rights. So when you come here from Venezuela and you come here from Africa, respect that our blood is in the soil for you to walk around. This is my biggest beef with blacks from Caribbean and blacks from Africa. They come here with no respect that without us, you would have not ever been allowed on the airplane. You never would have been allowed on no United Airlines, American Airlines, Jamaican Airlines wouldn't have been allowed to even land here unless it was full of whites. You would have not been allowed to come from Africa and come here. Period. And that's for everybody. Hispanics, Asians, everybody, because it wasn't no blacks. They wasn't pushing no blacks. You know that, right? Y'all know that they wasn't pushing no blacks. That's not what they was pushing. They wasn't pushing no blacks. Look, y'all. They try to make you think they was pushing no blacks. They was not pushing no blacks. This is my beef with immigrants. Because immigrants think that was about no blacks. And it wasn't. It was never about no blacks. That was not the slogan. That wasn't the slogan. That's a fact, y'all. Listen to me and listen to me good. The slogan wasn't no blacks. The slogan was whites only. That was the slogan. That was the slogan. The slogan wasn't no blacks. The slogan was whites only. That was the slogan. And that people they want to ignore that. The slogan was whites only. That was the slogan, which included blacks. I was during the Great Depression right there. Anybody that said was better that wasn't here, how realistic is it? How you gonna say something was better when you was born in the 90s or 2000? How you gonna, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna say it was better? Based on what? That's what I would say. If you came to me and said it was better, I want to know what year you was born. Where you get your what year you was born. Because I don't see how you could say that if you wasn't here. So if you're saying it was better before integration, you're saying this was better. That's what you're saying. When you had your own black schools, that was better. That looked better. That looked better to y'all. That looked better. Which school you want your children to go to? That one or this one? I want mine to go to this one. Let me explain something to you. Integration was necessary because they was taxing you over here and leaving your stuff raggedy and sending the money over there. So black folks didn't integrate to get around them. Black folks was chasing their money. Listen, integration had nothing to do with being around whites. Integration had to do with following your money. They were taking your money over here, but spending it over there. And you couldn't go to school where your tax dollars went. They would take all these people's tax money from here and spend it over there. So then I would ask you, what do you know about equal but separate? And at that point, that's when they'll separate the master teachers from the bootleg. Because then we would have to get in. I would begin to ask you, do you know who Charles Hamilton is? Then you'd have to get to stuttering. Because if you don't know who Charles Hamilton is, you don't know nothing about integration. So I would begin to ask you, what do you know about what Charles Hamilton and Thurgood Marshall did? And if you couldn't answer that question, it would be checkmate. And I would advise you to be quiet and let somebody that really got the knowledge teach. What if later we fought? Fought with what? What you fighting with? Fight with what? The Europeans gonna give you weapons? What do you mean by fight when you say fight? What do you mean? What do you mean exactly? So in other words, your life you got now, you want to disrespect the people that got you to this point and said they should have did something different? Because all y'all got to know, everything they did got you to where you got to now. So you don't appreciate where you at now? Is that what you're saying? Devon, you don't appreciate where you and your family is at now? The opportunities you got now, you saying they made a mistake? You second guessing where you at now? Let me ask you something. Can you keep your own taxes now? You can't even keep your own taxes now. You do know, Devin, if you don't pay your taxes, you're going to jail, right? All right, so what you mean keep your taxes? You mean go to prison for tax evasion? Is that what you said? Because that just sounds like make-believe talk. Like, keep your taxes, fight with no military and no police. Keep your taxes. How? So as soon as I got you, Devin, to explain how you would have kept your taxes, you would start stuttering. So how was these people going to keep their taxes when they're under the oppression? Okay, if you could keep your taxes, then you could avoid being in slavery, right? So we shouldn't have been in slavery, right? Because that's what you're saying. We should have fought to not be in slavery. He should have fought to not be arrested. Is that what you're saying? I'm confused. What do you mean by the word fight? You can't even fight now, Devin. You'll get gunned down in the street. You can't fight now. Today, in 2026, you don't have the military capability. America just invaded Venezuela. You can go toe and toe with the U.S. military? Because I'm confused when you say fight. And then I don't believe you'll fight. I don't believe you'll put your life on the line. Because just because you fight don't mean you're going to win. Yeah, we couldn't even eat in a restaurant. But when he say fight, he's saying fight like you're going to win. But one thing we know about fighting is you can win and you can lose or fight. So fighting doesn't necessarily, fighting doesn't equal winning. But I got, yeah. You understand? No, don't second guess your ancestors. Do what you need to do now. Don't go second guessing my mother and father and my grandparents and your grandparents. You wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Listen, don't second guess your grandparents, your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents, your great great grandparents. Why don't you have reservations like Indians do? Because the $5 Indians was white races. The 5 great Indian nations was racist and had slaves. And supported white supremacy. And were slave catchers. The Native Americans were slave catchers. Did you know that, LZ Merck? Did you know the Native Americans, that's why they got the nickel on that's what a $5 Indian is. They pay you to bring in slaves. We had to fight the whites here and a lot of the Native Americans because there's no such thing as Indians. They was different tribes. And the 5 great tribes went along with the whites and oppressed the other Native American tribes. Those Native Americans didn't have no reservations. Some of them finally just got some reparations. If you go to Seattle, Washington, there's drunk Indians everywhere living in oppression. And what you know about the reservations? You been to, hey, LZ, reservations? Reservations is all oppression. Where they beating up Native American men, alcoholics is beating up Native American women. And they abusing the children, and they live in squander and poverty on reservations. And they at the mercy of the government to give them funding on the reservation, which the government give them peanuts. Reservations are horrible. LZ, the the Native reservations, they not decent, bro. They messed up. See, as a young roster, we used to go to the res. We used to go to the res, right? Arizona and all that. We used to go to the res and go play reggae. You know what I'm saying? So I've been on the reses, all up there at Tacoma, Washington, and up there, and all in Arizona. Hey, man, it's horrible. And the Europeans that start calling themselves Native Americans run now. Them the ones got all the money for all them casinos and stuff. But the black ones, the real third world Native Americans, they not doing good. That's the sellouts that was mixed with European from the 5 great nations that got all that stuff. They sold. See, you got to understand, there's no such thing as Indians. See what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as Indians, LZ. The Indians ain't no group. They was different people from different places in the world. So if you came from South America, they called you Indians. If you was an Aztec up here, they call you Indian. If you was an Inca, they call you an Indian. If you was a Mayan, they called you an Indian. If you was an Arawak, they called you an Indian. So this is why you ever notice, LZ, why was the Indians fighting? Because they really wasn't Indians. They was different people from different places. The Europeans called them Indians and gave them all one title, but they wasn't that. A Cherokee is a Cherokee. A Cherokee is nothing like a Sioux. A Sioux is nothing like an Apache. Apache is nothing like a Comanche. Them is not the same people at all. They don't even look alike. Some of the ones up in Washington stuff is big and red looking. Some of them down in Arizona is a more brown, beige. My family was Sioux. My great-grandmother is Sioux. We not Indians. We Sioux. We not Indians. We Sioux. You see what I'm trying to show y'all? There's no such thing as Indians. It's racism. This is this is my mother's grandmother. I used to hang out at her house. She's Sioux. We not Indians. I'm part Sioux. You part Comanche or Arawak or, Comanche or Apache. Apache is Apache. If you go up to some of the tribes, you can't call them chief. They might cut you. You can't call them Indians either. You can't call them Indians. That's an insult. Y'all know that? Shout out to my brother Thunder, wherever you at. He's a foundational native that was here from a certain tribe. And if you call him an Indian, that's an insult to him. He gonna tell you, I'm this. If they Comanche, they like, I'm Comanche. They not Indians. So this is why they was fighting, because they wasn't the same people. You said, and being separated, they wasn't separated. They was never united. They was never united. They was never united. So they never separated. How can you separate something that never was united? Them people in Gaza under that position, because God don't like ugly, and they stole it from the real black Hebrew Israelites. If you really want to get the info, the karma to the people in Gaza is because they ain't who they've been saying they is, and God don't like ugly if you really want to know. Because they not what they said they was. The karma in Gaza is because they stole it from black people, and now somebody stole it from them. If you just really want to keep it a billion, I mean, if you want to keep it, if you really want to go there, if you want to get some knowledge, that's karma in Gaza because they took the land from them. And you do know them people in Gaza, you know they disrespect the black ones, right? You know they call the black ones. You know them Palestinians call the black ones a derogatory name. You know that, right? Oh, you don't? Okay. You good? You know what I'm saying? You help me teach everybody else though, J-Lo. See, this the real children of Israel, not the Palestinian or them Eastern European Israelis. Neither one of them are the original people. So they fighting over stuff they both stole. You feel me? This the real children of Israel. Yeah, they called him the greatest slave. So did. They got a negative name for black people up there that they call us, the Palestinians. Palestinians, this the man land it really is. The Palestinians is invaders that came down during the Arab invasion. They the same people that invaded North Africa, Kemet, what you call Egypt. That's the same people from the Arab invasion. Different tribes. Because them people you call Arabs was different tribes too. And then they came together during the time of Muhammad and all of that. When they started pushing Islam, they put all them tribes together. They wasn't one people either. They not really one people. They was forced together through Islam. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a break and then we'll continue, right? See, in slavery, right? I'm gonna give y'all some knowledge. You ain't gonna get this too many places. During slavery, what stopped the brown people from uprising is they would never send too many from the same group. So they would send some from West Africa. Like, say I got a plantation and I'm white. They'll send me so many from West Africa. They'll send me so many from the Caribbean. They'll send me so many Moors. They'll send me so many brown ones from Arizona. They'll send me so many brown ones from North Dakota. They would make sure that they sent me people, brown people, that didn't speak the same language and didn't come from the same place, so they couldn't uprise, right? So they don't tell you everything. So they would send each slave plantation only so many of each kind of melanated person. So if you look back in history and you look up the big uprising, the slave revolt happened because they made a mistake and sent too many slaves from a certain part of Africa. They was all from the same place, and they got sloppy. And they sent a bunch of brothers and sisters that all spoke the same language. And that's when they had that big slave revolt, that the slaves almost got totally free when they unalived all them slave owners. Look it up. This is historic. They teach this. They made a mistake. And instead of being careful, they sent too many that could talk to each other. That's a fact. Look it up. They sent too many melanated people that could talk the same way. I forgot the brother's name. And he led a big slave revolt. And they did big damage. I know somebody here know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they call him a bee. See, I got the queen in here. I got me a research partner. You know what I'm saying? The queen over here, she helping me stand on business. Y'all can't mess with Mrs. Moore. Mrs. Moore got her figure on the butt. Yeah, this is that. Now that's what you call a mod right there, because she helping out and helping the people learn. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Salute to the Queen, Mrs. Moore. She ain't playing no games. So yeah, they messed around one time and sent too many people speak the same language, and they had a slave uprising for real. So this is how these things was done. Now with the Native Americans, you got to understand, the people you call Native Americans, you got to understand, when the Europeans got here, they was fighting already. You see what I'm saying? So somebody gonna tell you, oh, the European manipulated party. No, when the Europeans got here, the Native Americans out west was warned. Now you got to understand, when the Europeans came here from Europe, they didn't know what's going on. They came from England and there, but you had the Spanish ones already here. You know, the Spanish-American War. So you had the Spanish already in South America, the Caribbean, and up in like the Ontario, up in that area. So the British Americans came in. You got to understand, they don't got cars and trains, so you don't know who where. You just on some land. You don't know who 5 states over. You don't know none of that. So all these people just living on land, they don't know who there, until the numbers started growing and they started getting more horses and wagon trains. Before they had trains, they used to have wagon trains, and wagon trains would be a bunch of Europeans get together and travel in a bunch so that they would survive. Because if you went out there by yourself and bumped into some group you don't know nothing about, you're going to get did dirty. See, when they show the movies, they showing you the movies after the fact of the matter, what they know. So you get confused, because they be like the Comanches attacked them. But you got to understand the people that was getting attacked didn't know they was Comanches. They didn't know who these people was. You know what I'm saying? So if you was a white group in a wagon train and some natives came out attacking you, don't know who them is. That the movies be like, oh, the Apaches, but the people getting attacked, they don't know that until they travel enough where they got scouts that can say, oh, yeah, the Apaches live there, the Comanches live like that. So you don't even know who or where nobody's at. It's hard for our generation to comprehend because we be on planes and on highways, so it's hard for us to comprehend a big old landmass where you got to ride a horse and it's going to take you how many days just to get to the next state? How long you think it take you on a horse to leave Chicago and get to Kentucky on a horse? Forever, right? What? Hey, listen, if I was on a horse in Chicago, how long it take me to get to Alabama? Because we used to drive and then stop at a hotel, then drive. So we used to take 2 days, but some people could drive like in a day or so. But on a horse, how many weeks that gonna take you? A month, huh? Yeah, it's gonna take you a month because you got to stop and try to figure out how to get food and all. And the horse could get tired. Horse ain't like no car. It can't just keep. You know what I mean? You got to rest a horse or it'll fall on you. And if it fall on you, break your leg. Now you out here, the horse going, you cripple. Here come rattlesnakes. Here come all kind of tribes. You know what I'm saying? So that's the backstory on what's going on with that. So to get back to it, so this is how blacks became Democrats because the party flipped over and the Republicans wanted to back up the Confederate more and wanted to back the Confederate mentality and promote slavery and all that. The Democrats wanted to go for the money. You understand? So I'm not saying the Democrats was all full of love. I'm saying the Democratic Party said they want to go for the bag. You understand? Because the Democrats was like, listen, we don't got enough white people to build this country. We need everybody. So the Democrats was smart. They was like, listen, man, the hell with racism. We trying to get a bag. See, they don't want to tell the truth. The truth is that they wanted to get money and they realized racism wasn't going to get no money. You understand? Now, let me break that down. Let me break it down. Watch this. I could back up everything I'm saying. All right. You got slavery and all this stuff, right? You don't get this kind of knowledge nowhere, right? So what's the real reason so many whites said we got to bring blacks up. We can't leave them down because by the time you get to the 30s, what? You have what? The Great Depression. When you had the Great Depression, right? All bets was off. I'll bet they had to figure out what to do. Whites, blacks, everybody was starving. You understand? This is why some whites said, man, to hell with racism. We got to eat. We need all hands on deck. Free the blacks, get them rights. Let's make some money. Let's build some cities. Not only that, not only did you have a Great Depression, right? They had the Dust Bowl. And the Dust Bowl wiped out all the food. The Dust Bowl wiped out all the food. So all the Americans were starving. Everybody. All the crops was destroyed. Everybody was starving. Now imagine the Dust Bowl and the Great Depression back to back. Bow, bow. And then World War II. Bow. Great Depression. Bow. Dust Bowl. Bow. World War II. Bow. Bow, bow, bow. It was messed up. So a lot of whites like, we can't, it's going to take everybody on this land to build this land. One nation, under God, indivisible, with freedom and justice for all. They said we can't do it by ourselves. The whites that were still pushing racism was slow. They were stupid. That wasn't going to work. This country wouldn't have been nothing without integration. Integration didn't hurt black people. That's all bull. Black folks was baby rich. Black folks had 3-bedroom houses, 2-bedroom houses, 2 cars, worked for Ford, Chevy. They was getting money. Let me tell you something. Anybody say integration hurt us is a damn lie. A lie. My mom and daddy came up here from Alabama. How you think I went to public school, wore tailor-made clothes? My daddy had a new Cadillac every 2 or 3 years. How you think? How you think the Temptations, baby, I need your love, and the Supremes? Why you think I came for money? Did them R&B groups look broke? No, they was getting it. Black folks was getting money. Lots of it. Working for the steel mill. Working for the auto industry. I worked for WFR Printing Company. Go to work. Who was there? Blacks and whites. Working in the factory, getting money. The whites had houses. The blacks had houses. Ask anybody. Well, nobody doing no racism like that. I got out of high school in 1976. Wasn't nobody doing no racism. Everybody's doing money. Get money. Wasn't nobody doing no racism like that. They was like living their own neighborhoods, but they wasn't beefing on the jobs like that. Hell no. I worked with white men. You could tell someone didn't necessarily like blacks, but they wasn't causing no problem. They was good co-workers. America was getting money, but that's because everything was messed up. Let me ask you something. When they got through this, you think they was with some slavery again and the race? They was like, the hell with race. They couldn't even find no jobs. So they was like, anything that could get some jobs, and get this country rolling, we with it. They told them racists in the South, shut y'all ass up. I'm telling you, man, listen, they told racists in the South, shut y'all ass up. Shut y'all ass up. They was like, shut up. Sign the civil rights bill. We need some money. Didn't nobody want to do no racism, man. Broke. Tell me I'm wrong. Look at the NFL. Look at baseball, basketball. They're like racism equal broke. We trying to get money. LeBron James, boy. A lot of white people like, man, we're not doing racism. We starving. Whoever can get this country running, they got a job. Who is that? Standing in line for food during the Great Depression. Just look. You see the black dude right there smiling? They not thinking about him. They starving. Look. This is people lining up for jobs and food during the Great Depression. Black dudes is in line. The one right next to the horse, that's a black dude. The one smiling, black dude. It's a lot of black people in this crowd. Racism is over. It was lingering. I was born in 1958. By the time I got to freshman in high school, it was over with. It was a wrap. By 1970, 72, that was over. It's a wrap. There wasn't nobody doing that no more. And nobody wasn't manipulating blacks or nothing like that. The country went broke because the city started robbing the jobs. That's why. The auto industry and all that stuff collapsed because the city got greedy and was overtaxing the businesses, and the businesses left. I worked for W.F. Printing Company. They printed Ebony, Jet, and all the paperback books in your school. The city of Chicago was overtaxing them, and they moved to Tennessee. That's why the jobs left, because the city didn't respect the factories and was overcharging them and was running them out of business. And that's why LA struggling, Chicago struggling, and all that. That's why. That's why everything's struggling right now. Right now in Chicago, they begging somebody to come here. What the first thing they say? Come here and open up your factory. We'll give you what? A tax break. Why you got to give them a tax break? Because the taxes is too high and they're not going to come. And right now today, they leaving the country. All the businesses leaving so they can operate without getting robbed by their own government. You understand? But this is how the Democrats became powerful, because the Democrats say, man, the hell with race. We trying to get some money. We not doing race. These is facts, y'all. They're like, we not doing race. I'm telling you what I know. I was here. They was like, race is out of here. They're like, we got to get some money. They're like, we got to get some money. We ain't doing race no more. That's over. And the Democrats knew. The Democrats wanted the money. The Republicans wanted to keep doing it the old ass way. They like, bro, we're not doing that. They're like, we're not doing that. That y'all could take that hillbilly stuff back to the hills. Look how whites was living. You think they wanted to keep pushing racism once they could get out this position? They was starving. So whatever was going to make some money, they was with it. They smiling because they trying to get some money. They trying to get a job. Everybody struggling. And that was the Great Migration. Because when the jobs opened up, my parents born, my mom and daddy, listen, my mom and daddy, my daddy born what? 1931. My mama born what? 1935. I'm born what? 1958. So that means when my daddy and my mama got in their late 20s, they was out of Alabama because all the jobs was where? Detroit and Chicago. My mom and daddy, my daddy came to Chicago with my mama, my daddy, my uncle Oscar, my uncle Sidney, and my uncle Stanley. My daddy and three of his brothers came to Chicago. My mother's mother, my grandmama, they went to Detroit. Like 5 of my great uncles, they went up there. Why? To work for Ford. That's why Detroit was popping. And they was like, the hell with the South. Y'all broke. We Democrats, we not doing no old Civil War stuff. We need some money. Racism don't mean no money. If a white man can go to work and work with some black people and go back to a white neighborhood and have a nice house and a nice car, you think he ain't gonna do it? He's gonna be like, man, I don't care who I'm working with. I got to feed my family. We don't got enough white people to run this country. They didn't have enough white people to expand the auto industry. Look how many cars you think America made from the late 50s till the end of the Obama era, because the auto industry started teetered, they started doing the same thing. And that's why they had to bring it back, because they ran all of the auto industries out again. Everybody started buying foreign cars because the stupid Americans start overcharging and messing up business again because they didn't know history. And they ruined business, and Obama had to get in there. You didn't see nobody driving no American cars until Obama got back in there. All these Hellcats and stuff, Barack Obama made that happen. All these Corvettes, all these American cars, these Dodges and Fords, they wasn't selling nothing until Barack Obama got in office. Single-handedly saved the country from going flat broke. That's a fact. Anybody want to smoke, tell them to put up $5,000, I'll debate them. That's an absolute fact. The country was going flat ass broke, couldn't sell nothing. Everybody was in Lexus, Toyota, Nissan. But what they weren't selling, no American cars. American car dealers was closing. It's a car strip in Harvey turned to a ghost town because they couldn't sell no American cars. And he got in there and brought it back, and then they let some fools go back in there and mess it right back up. They should have stayed. He was showing them this is what we got to do. You can't never put racism over money. You got to eat at the end of the day. So the Democrats got into the money. Now the Democrats is like doing too much social stuff. It ain't on the bag no more. So the Democrats done dropped the ball. They ain't on the bag. They worried about all kind of weirdo social stuff. The Republicans is pushing a bunch of weird racist stuff. So they ain't on the bag. Neither party is going after the money. Tell me I'm lying. Which party trying to get some money? Neither one. Neither party is trying to get money. Neither party is trying to get no money. Destroying the country. Right now, under the Trump administration. What's up with the jobs? I'll show you what's up with them. You see all them job losses under the Trump administration? Biden was too old and sleep. This is how they dropped the ball. Biden in there, he old, he sleep, he don't know what to do. Then you put a failed businessman in there. He trying to do so much goofy stuff. We going broke. The farmers losing. All the trade is down. Everything costs $1 billion under Trump. And you got Americans arguing between the biggest losers because both parties been losing. Let's keep it real. Biden lose. Trump, stupid, lose. Tell me I'm lying. And they got us trying to pick who the best when it's been loser. Now, if you like Trump, you must ain't been to the grocery store. You been to the grocery store? How much is 2 bags of groceries under the Trump administration? Because maybe y'all see something I don't. Because I eat plant-based, I eat good, and 2 bags of groceries, 3 bags of groceries, $80, $100. For $100 for $50 worth of food. Oh my soul. Under the Trump administration. Cars, not selling. Ain't selling no cars. Ain't nobody buying no cars. Nobody's buying no trucks. Nobody's buying nothing. The only people that look like they buying something is fake rappers leasing cars, trying to make you think they spending some money and going broke. Every rapper go broke 5 months after they flaunt. 5 months after he flaunt, he broke. When the last big rap concert? Ain't no rap concerts in no big arenas. Where? What's the big rap tour? The only 2 tours that been is 50 Cent and Youngboy. That's it. 50 Cent and Youngboy, the only ones made any money in the last 2 years. Name me who else? Who else had a big tour? Nobody. Them damn things was half empty. Ain't nobody making no money. Rappers doing podcasts. Broke. Because they not chasing no money. They chasing a whole bunch of stupid political ideas. We want some money, man. We don't want to hear all that. We don't want to, man, we don't care nothing about nothing that the Democrats or Republicans talk about. We don't want to hear none of that. Where the dollars at? Y'all letting them get away. They ain't talking about no dollars. They getting in office, putting in more AI, firing more people, digitizing, and you going for it. Digital mean broke. Yeah, I told y'all Bitcoin. What I tell y'all? Didn't I told you Bitcoin mean broke? When everybody's like, oh, cryptocurrency, I told you, crypto, the crypt, a crypt is dead. Tales from the crypto. No money. Digital currency means digital jobs, mean no physical job, which means zero. No worse than zero. Now you're like a zero with the rim knocked off. Now you're like a zero with the rim knocked off. Nothing. You're not even a zero. At least a zero is something. I told y'all. Digital currency means broke. 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 Digital currency means no jobs, no tellers. You don't need no tellers. It's digital. Nobody bagging groceries. No self-checkout. Jobs gone. Digital means no jobs. If you want digital currency, then you want computerized labor, because digital currency is computerized, and computerized labor means robots, means no damn jobs. That's what it means. It also means they can turn your money on and turn your money out. Straight slavery. Oh, you said the wrong thing? Dock you. Oh, you said the wrong thing? Push your money button, take your money. Because you let your money be on digital. You let your money be on digital? You want your money on digital where they can push a button and take your money? Because if you got cash, they can't take your money. You got to bring it in. They got to send you 20 notices. Pharaoh, when you going to pay this parking ticket? Pharaoh, when you going to pay this speeding ticket? When I get ready. But if my money's in the bank digital, they can say, give us our money. Oh, you think we playing with you? Go in his account and get that money. Not only that, go and get his money and shut his account down since he keep playing. What fool want their money where somebody could see it? That's why I said the young brothers with the digital, they ain't no gangsters. The young brothers that push digital will tell me, no, OG, crypto this and that. Well, I like, you a lame. You a lame. You a lame. Anytime you want to have your money and the only way you can get it is with this, you a fool. You don't want to be able to reach in your pocket or go into a safety deposit box and get your money. You want to have electricity. So if the electricity go down and my money's digital, ain't I broke? Ain't you broke? If your money's digital, if you're doing digital banking and the electricity's out, ain't you broke? ATM don't work. Can't charge your phone. Ain't you broke? You're broke. Electrical storm, broke. Grid attack by foreign terrorists, you're broke. The grid's down. They say you're going to get food but our computer system down. So you got to bring cash. I don't got no cash. All my cash in the bank and I can't access my bank account. Oh, well, fool. Big hurricane come. Big hurricane come. Big tornado come. Grid down. Boom. Your baby's at home. They said, we got food, but you got to bring cash. I don't got no access to my cash. I got a debit and credit card like a goofy. My money's on debit and credit card. They said, well, we ain't got nowhere to rake your car, fool. Yeah, we not raking. We're not raking cards right now. Well, fool, we go for digital currency. Only a fool. Crypto. Yeah, crypto is all that. Okay. I gotta go to some wallet. I gotta put 2,000 codes in there. I gotta transfer it. I gotta buy gas. I gotta pay them to transfer. Everybody see my business. Pharaoh, you was one of them Satan knights in good times, huh? I don't know what you're talking about. When good times was on, I was a little boy. So I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? That was supposed to be funny. That wasn't really funny. You gotta have a better joke. Nah, I'm a four corner hustler that you really wouldn't play with in real life like that. Like stay on the internet playing. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, it's a privilege to watch me. So goodbye. You not you your access been denied because you want to play and tell jokey jokes like a little ass boy. We on some grown man stuff. We ain't on no little kid goofy, but we not doing no goofy stuff like that. So I should have hollered at your OG. Boom. Which I could have helped her raise you right. You know what I'm saying? I could have helped that situation. I could have hollered at your OG. Boom. Could have been your step daddy. Boom. Could have raised you right. Bad music. You know what I'm saying? I could have helped that situation. Right? Help her de-goofify you. And I could have got some of the goofy out of you. You know, so you'd have been on some man time. You wouldn't be on here punching buttons being a goofy. You know, I'll get you some pride. You'd be able to use your real name on social media. You wouldn't have to be goofy music. You know what I'm saying? With some more corny jokes and, yeah, God, please tell some good jokes. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch Good Times, but I was looking at the sexy lady that lived upstairs or whatever her name was. The hot mama didn't have a husband. Even though I was a little boy, I was checking her out, right? I been had toxic masculinity. What was the single lady on Good Times? That's the only thing I was looking at. Thelma was all right, but you know how little boys is. We like big girls. I like the single lady more than Thelma. If I had to choose between Thelma and the single chick, I would have picked the single chick when I was in the eighth grade. That's who I would have tried to knock back. What was her name? Yeah. Yeah, Walona. yeah. Even though, that's how you know you got that male energy. Because I was checking out with Walona. I was like, shoot, yeah, you shouldn't be single. And Thelma was older than me when I was watching. I ain't even like Thelma. I like the grown woman. Yeah, Walona. One time my auntie said, "Why you looking at Walona like that?" I didn't know I was looking at her. She said, "Lord have mercy. I don't know where Randolph and Bessie got you from." Because I would get quiet every time she come to the house. Ooh, it was something about her. I don't know what it was. I was too little to know what it was, but it was something there. I synced it. That's the only thing I knew about good times. And that Michael was like a revolutionary. Yeah, she was fine if you was a little boy. You know, she was like, ooh wee, baby girl, cute. But I didn't know I was too little. But when it comes to the Democrats and the Republicans, I think right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's wide open for a new age politician can come and shake the whole U.S. up. Seriously, like right now, a new progressive, a politician could take over the whole thing right now. If they came out talking that talk and be like, yeah, I'm running as a Democrat, but I ain't really on that. I'm running as an American. Like that. And I'm not going to get out here and help one party or the other. We got to build this whole country up. We got to get some money. I'm trying to put some money in the pockets of Americans. I'm trying to make sure the farmers can run their farms without getting robbed. I'm trying to make sure the industries can run their industries without getting robbed so they can pay the workers. If you can't like that, you'll blow everybody out the water because that's what Americans want to hear. You don't want to hear all this talk. You want to buy some groceries without them taking all your money, period. If they ain't talking that, they ain't talking nothing. Neither party. Neither, to me, neither party ain't talking nothing. And the people that supporting the parties is clowns because they don't care nothing about the country. They playing this one against that one. That's what most people playing. I'm on this side. I'm on that side. I'm on this side. But what? But there's no meat in it. There's nothing in it. Nobody's talking about nothing but what side they on. It's like the Bible saying the last days men will become lovers of themselves. So these men, they love these men. I love Trump. I love this one. But as far as what's really going on, ain't nobody addressing it. It's like everybody's interested in, I'm on this side, I'm on that side. It's like, yeah, but what's up with these bills? What's up with this phone bill? What's up with this electric bill? What's up with this gas prices? But they keep going for it. They keep going for it. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Look, tell me I'm lying. Right now, it's February, right? Whatever gas prices is, right? Ain't nobody going nowhere too much or nothing, right? When it gets warm, close to summer, and it's time for you to get in your car and drive on vacation, what gas prices gonna do? Wait, right now you ain't trying to drive and visit relatives. You ain't on summer vacation or nothing. It's February. It's the middle of work hustle. When June get here and it's time to book your summer vacation and drive your car, what gas prices gonna do? Right when you ready to burn a lot of gas, what they gonna do? They're gonna rob you. There is no reason gas prices gonna go up June, July, and August. And then when we don't want to go nowhere, go back down. But ain't nobody saying nothing. Get on a plane now. Oh, fly to Arizona. Oh, you can get a ticket for $127. Oh, it's June, $550, $800. Nobody don't say nothing. There's no way it costs more money just because it's a different month. Y'all believe it costs more money because it's a different month? Y'all believe an airplane costs more to fly because it's a different month? That it really costs more to fly in June and July than it do February and March? Come on. Come on. That's price gouging. Nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. Nobody gonna say nothing. Men on social media ain't gonna say nothing. Men on social media ain't gonna say nothing. They're gonna be like, Trump is better. Whatever Democrat run is better. Newsom is better. Whoever running for the Republicans is better. That's all they're gonna say. They're not gonna say nothing important. They just, these men, American men, then turned into girls. Which man you like the most? No meat in the conversation, nothing. I like him. I'm a Republican. I like him. I'm a Democrat. I like him. That's it. You ain't gonna talk about gas going up. You ain't gonna talk about nothing, but just who you like. And you a man, and you just like this dude for no reason. For no reason. There is no reason to like Donald Trump. What reason? To go and take all the oil from Venezuela for just the rich? Because y'all regular people, you ain't getting nothing from that. You're not going to get nothing from Venezuela. You're not going to get nothing from the tariffs. Working people, you're not going to get nothing. That's for his rich billionaire friends and trillionaire friends. You ain't, the voters, you ain't going to get nothing. All y'all out there that like Trump, you're not going to get nothing from Trump. Zero. And you know it. You're not going to get nothing. He going to take all your money. He going to give it to his sons. He going to give it to his daughter. He going to give it to his grandchildren. And he going to ride off in the sunset with trillions of dollars that he fleeced from the country. And whoever after that, whatever. That's what he going to do. And you're going to be in the same situation. Your situation ain't going to change at all. And you're going to get notices, your job closing, AI this, robots this, Amazon this, so-and-so this, housing market down, eviction, homeless. And the rich still going to the Bulls game, still going to the Rams game, the ones that can make it, that got money. The athletes, tell me I'm lying, the athletes go out there, they play sports, they be rich, right? They play sports, they be rich, their careers in, 5 years after their careers in, they poor. They poor. They be poor, homeless. Man, if you go right now and look at all of the pro football players that's homeless, sick, in nursing homes, all that, you wouldn't believe it. NBA players poor, baseball players poor, dirt ass poor. Because they promoted a society that can't sustain. They can't sustain when they get out to sport. They was with all them high prices until they get out to sport. You with paying $175,000 for a car that next year, right? You pay $175,000 for a car, right? And next year it's worth $75,000. Next year's worth $75,000, $100,000 gone. And guess what? Don't nobody want it. Why? Because they promote, you got to be in the new one, right? So if I buy a Maybach, after 1 year, don't nobody else want it because everybody want a new Maybach, right? The price of it, it depreciated hell a lot. I'm just stuck with it. Don't nobody want it. My money just gone. And now I'm not even a player no more because they look at you, oh, you riding in the old one. So now you're trying to stunt in your Maybach. You pull up somewhere in your 2026 Maybach, dude pull up into 2028, you ain't nobody still. Because dude got to 2028 and you got the old ass 2026. This is the mentality we push it to the youth. So you washed, even though it's a Maybach, you washed. You ain't dude with the new one. That's what we pushing. So now the men are feminine. They be asking me, let us see your house. They want to see my jewelry. They want me to show men. I ain't never known men want to see no type of wealth or nothing. I ain't never known that before. I said, what kind of men is these? They want to see, they want me to show them some wealth and stuff. I said, what kind of men is these? Because when I grew up, men, only thing men wanted to see was titties and ass. That's all we ever wanted to see. We ain't never wanted to see your watch. And we don't want to see we ain't want to see your wife naked. We want to see a single woman naked. We don't want to see your woman. We don't want to sleep behind you. Now with the young brothers, they want to sleep behind 5 single women walk down the street. And a brother with his woman, and they want that one. five single women walk. One married woman with her husband, and all the brothers want to sleep behind the dude. They don't want the single ones. They want to sleep behind the man. That's the new thing. That you want to sleep behind a man. I had a dude come yesterday say, it's nice when you pull up in a big body Benz and a woman in the car with her man look over and want to be with you. I said, damn. He said, that was nice. He said it was nice when another woman want to be with him because of the car. I said, now, if you got that mentality that is nice, that you're in a nice car, and a man in a car not nice, his women want to be with you, that goes along with the mentality that shorties that's not in a nice car want to carjack you. Same mentality. But he didn't know what he was saying. So that same mentality, the way a dude will pull up at you and this woman is a dog, and now all of a sudden she want to ride with you, it's the same mentality for shorties with a ski mask pull up next to you and carjack you. That's the same. They want the car too. That's the same. And the same way you think it's cool to take somebody's woman, they think it's cool to rob you, take your watch, and take your car. What's the difference? We taking stuff, right? The brother say he cool with taking somebody's woman because he got a nice car. Well, shorties is into taking your nice car. You understand? Shorties think about taking your car. And then you think you're a player. When real players, we don't want to sleep behind no dude. The real player, she got to go air that coochie out. We looking at least 30 days. Like if I meet a woman and she said she just broke up with her ex, they've been broke up about a week, but she been ain't liking them. All right, cool. But we not finna do nothing. You got that got to air out 30 days. Yeah, now you got to go air that out. Yeah, you got to air that out. Cause you know what I'm saying? And then I ain't gonna lie, 2026, 2027, oh, we going to the clinic. Young brothers watching me, here's the new players. 2026, 2027, baby girl got to go to the clinic. Ladies, 2026, 2027, dude got to go to the clinic. Yeah, we got to see some test results. Look, y'all, 2026, 2027, before you be sleeping with somebody, they got to go to the clinic. You don't want their saliva on you in your mouth. No, you don't want to exchange no body fluids. We got to go to the clinic. Y'all don't got to listen. The new player, 2026, 2027, 2028, you got to go to the clinic. I got to see some test results. Yeah, I got to see. Yeah, it's too much bouncing around right now. It's too much jumping around from person to person right now. Ladies, there's too many men sleeping with men and want to sleep with you. Gotta be some tests. It's too much. It's too much, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And like I don't want nothing. I don't want nobody to give me nothing. I don't want my mouth to break out. I don't want sores all around my mouth, all around my genitals, bro. I don't know if y'all seen how bad some of them sores get, but it get pretty bad. Well, your whole sex life is over if you catch the wrong thing, because you can't even hide it. You can't even hide it. And then if they got test results in the car, that still might be dated. She showed me some test results. Baby girl, this from 2 months ago. This from 2 months ago. I'm telling y'all what's really going on. Because these STDs and these transmittable diseases are going to increase. So you got to understand that diseases are creatures. They're just the smallest level of creatures. Like you got big old whales and big old elephants, down to gorillas and stuff and people. Well, you got, those are living things too. Amoebas and diseases and germs are alive. And these germs, they upgrade. They don't stay the same. They become more potent. They mutate. So in other words, you got syphilis. You have sex with somebody got HIV, and now you got an HIV syphilis hybrid germ. Because when both of them get in your body, your blood could put them together. That's a fact. So now you got a gonorrhea syphilis or a gonorrhea HIV hybrid. Like with my friends in Hawaii, when they used to go to the Philippines, you got to get tested before you get back on the ship. You used to, because they had sexually transmitted diseases in the Philippines that didn't have no cure. And they're not bringing you back on the base with that. They used to leave you in the Philippines. I don't know if they still do that. But my brethren, it's a lot of black men in Hawaii. Hawaii is a major military base. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. So there's a lot of black men out there in the Navy and in the Army, and they be going on these ships. And they said, Pharaoh, if you go to the Philippines, it used to be like this, and you come back to the ship, they test you, and if you got some, they leave you there. They leave you in the Philippines. You can't get back on the ship. And then they discharge you from the military. because he said they got, because a lot of these brethren, they was Jamaicans that was in the military. They said, boy, they got some things in the Philippines you can't cure, you know. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, 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 sweetheart, they do. So for the young generation, dating and stuff is going to increase and become more serious. Dating is going to change tremendously over the next 5 years because ain't nobody going to be wanting to catch all this stuff out here. You know what I'm saying? Go, go, go look up AIDS in Georgia, in Florida, in these states. Go look up the rate. I bet you'll slow down. Florida's ridiculous. Georgia too. The Atlanta area. Go ahead, go down to Atlanta, sleep with some strangers. Let's see what happened to you. Florida. I'm telling you. Don't say I didn't tell you. No, I don't. I don't do dating apps. I don't do dating apps. I don't do desperation of date. I meet a woman. I meet her. I wait and let it happen organically. Used to, yeah. I let dating have to happen organically for me because I don't believe I can find a woman off an app or nothing. I believe everything got to happen organically. I don't believe you could go to a magazine or go to some website say, "Oh, I want this woman right here. I want to date her." I don't believe that works. I wouldn't do it. And all the women I know have told me it's failed tremendously. Dating apps. They said dating apps are horrible. That's what women have told me. They ain't never going back on there ever again. Because a lot of women tell me that the men you be dating are professional dating app dudes. And they ain't gonna get with you anyway. They just back on. This lady said she met this guy on the dating app, went out with him, and she said the next time she seen him on the dating app saying the same thing to her to somebody else. So dudes just get on the dating apps just to be sluts. Oh yeah, when you start going to foreign countries, you catching a hybrid, and Africa's notorious for it. Africa's notorious. Brothers going to Africa, basically like slavery, sex. So you going as a higher standard. So you going to Dominican Republic and all of that. And what you're doing, you using your money and status for basically tourism prostitution. You basically is an oppressor. And you taking your status as an American, which you might not be nothing in America as far as your financial ranking, you might rank here from all the way up here. But then if you go to a poor country, you rank there. So you go take advantage of your rank going up in a poor country and you go down there and you basically a creep. Because any man that got to go somewhere to meet a woman, that just show you he's a weirdo. All these women out here, you got to go to the Dominican Republic to meet a woman. They never marry them. They always come back and tell you, it's some nice women. They never be married. They never had no children. They never build no family. So what is you doing? You flying back and forth out there to do what? Basically, prostitution. Trying to make it sound, passport bros. No, prostitution, bro. You a trick. You just went somewhere where it's cheaper. Basically, you just went somewhere where it's cheaper. To the brothers that's watching me, when you see this part, when anytime if you go on YouTube and watch, uh, let's say beautiful women in Dominica, beautiful women here, and the woman they gonna have at the picture, you ain't gonna see nobody look that good. They all gonna look like regular sloppy chicks, right? But the point I'm making is, if you go and you go watch these videos of these men that got their cameras, say I'm in Dominica, and they showing you all the women. For the real players out there, real street dudes, what you do anytime you see a video of a country of these women, don't look at the women, look on the street. So if you see, like if I'm down there and I'm walking this way and you see me showing some women walking that way, telling you how beautiful they are, look on the street and you're going to see these motorcycles, right? Vroom, vroom. Those are the handlers, right? Because for the young brothers, watch me, because no woman is allowed to do nothing nowhere without men dominating it. So there is no woman in the Dominican Republic or Africa that's going to be allowed to make no money in a man's territory, right? So don't go there thinking, oh, she a woman by herself. No, she's under the domination of the men that control that area, right? And they won't get you. They just want to make sure when you pay her that she get them they cut because she working for them. Now, in some cases, they will get you in like 15%, 20% of the cases, but in 80% of the cases, they just watching her to make sure she don't make no money and stash it. And for sure, I never done it before, but I know for sure if you pick her up, she gonna rush that situation and then she gonna be trying to get dropped back off. She not gonna stay with you unless it's some kind of way you could show more money coming her way while she with you. If it look like a wham bam thank you ma'am, she gonna be ready to go because she got to go get some more money. And when you drop her off, dude and them gonna be up and down the street making sure she's back. She gonna tell you where to drop her off at, and that's gonna be on the strip. And it's dangerous too because they international, and if you bring her home, they got people here to make sure she sets you up so they can go into your apartment, your house, and take everything you got. Facts. You'll wake up, she'll be gone. All your stuff be gone if you wake up. Uh, my brother-in-law, my sister, all them, they high-level corporate. So it's about maybe 5 years ago. My brother-in-law at his job, because they got to go out of town a lot, they gave out some memos. And the memos that they gave my brother-in-law said, when you go out of town on business, don't talk to no women. If we find out you dealing with any woman, you fired, because they said that men for this corporation, two of them, had went on these trips out of town and have dated these women and brought these women to the hotel. And the men woke up the next day in a tub of ice with their kidneys removed. Facts. Two men for this company, or it might have been one, but for sure they said that men was going out of town, sleeping with women, being dosed with something and passing out, and was waking up in the bathtub full of ice, and their kidney was gone. And they put you in the ice until you get, medical people to come and take you to the hospital. Facts. Kidney harvesting. You drink your drink, knock out, you wake up without your kidney. And that's an absolute, listen, that's a fact. You could think it's a joke. Down in Mexico, for the men to come from any country south of Mexico and pass through Mexico into the United States, they got to get a cartel's a kidney. You see all these men, their kidney was removed? In order for them to pass through Mexico, it cost them a kidney. I mean, I got the proof to what I'm saying. In order for these men to pass through Mexico to get to the United States, they had to give up a kidney. Google it. Google it. A picture's worth 1,000 words. So listen, don't be going out here doing illicit sexual stuff. It's very dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. You're putting yourself in harm's way. I'm just telling you. Don't let nobody tell you, yeah, go down to Brazil. All the women. Go to Colombia. Don't listen to that. Bad things going to happen to them in Colombia. And that's a fact. So look, y'all stay positive. Send this to everybody and warn them. You could chop that part off and send it to them. If you know men traveling or women traveling, especially men. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you support the channel. I appreciate you viewing. And don't let the politics get you caught up, and save your money, because a lot of people are being laid off. Victory.